pro-life women weren't welcome. And the funny thing is, as a pro-life feminist, I'm like, we don't need an invitation. We go where we want. Like, what are you talking about? You think Susan B. Anthony would be sitting around, like, waiting for an invitation?
We originally saw that your organization was one of the sponsors of the Women's March, but as soon as the organizers of WM found out that your group is pro-life, they dropped you. They clarified their statement online. It sounds like what you're saying is they received a lot of backlash. How do you feel about that? I mean, did they call you and say, hey, look, we still support you coming to this march, but we have to make this decision because of political reasons? Was there ever kind of a, private conversation like that? Or did you as an organization just decide to sort of rise above and go to the march and support on your own anyway?
I don't know if it was necessarily rising above. They did not reach out to us, unfortunately. But at the same time, again, running an organization that kind of has polarizing elements and controversial elements, I understand doing something that receives backlash and the pressure that's on that. This is the very first time that these organizers have put together a march, and it's going to be huge and historic, and I have nothing but sympathy for what they're going through.
Does your mission align with what they're doing?
Not perfectly, but who does? I mean, who fully aligns with any political party or any organization? We have enough common ground that we are definitely excited to be out there, united with them and raising our voice and, telling the Trump campaign that we are going to be holding him accountable. And the problem with the pro-life movement sometimes is they focus a lot on the pregnant woman, but not on the woman the rest of the time, the rest of her lifetime. And so we want to make sure that we're helping her, with full female services and full health care. We are actually developing an app that is called Help Assist Her. So it's like 3 words, but when you say it fast over the phone, it sounds like Help Assist Her. So our goal is to not make abortion illegal, but make it unthinkable and unnecessary. And a lot of pro-life people will say, well, it's always unnecessary. But when you're the 15-year-old girl who's about to be kicked out of your home and, lose your medical care and everything else while you're pregnant, it can really feel like a necessary evil. Being pro-life and being a feminist are two incredibly polarizing things. And we tend to kind of, be shunned by a lot of groups. But the fact that because we are focused on the woman and the child and not just the fetus, it's huge. It's huge as far as being able to serve women well and get the support of people who, might not be opposed to abortion, but certainly want to make sure that they're helping women.
I feel like maybe the news media is perpetuating that narrative that there is so much division between these groups, because listening to you now and talking to you now saying, hey, sure, we've got some differences, but I think we have more common ground than not, and we understand where they're coming from and they understand where we're coming from, but this is a march for all women and not just one particular type of woman, so we're going to go out there and prove that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's definitely brought up a very interesting, question. And I think it's obviously interesting because I'm getting calls from, all over the place, from conservative sites and very liberal sites and progressives and everybody in between. And so people are very interested. Can you be pro-life and be a feminist? And I think a big part of that, if I'm being honest, it really comes down to the fact of, laws. And people saying, you can't make laws that restrict abortion and call yourself a feminist because you're taking away women's choices. I feel like that's something where maybe my group's a little bit unique. We work for culture change.
What do you think it's going to take to bring these two sides together? We've noticed ourselves a lot of backlash, and I'm wondering, have you noticed any backlash at all? And how do you handle that backlash? Because I think women ultimately all want the same thing. We all want to be elevated, but we're just coming from different directions and not realizing that they're common goals.
Well, like you said, I think a lot of media perpetuates that narrative that we're on different sides and we're against each other, and they're pro-choice and we're pro-life. And, ultimately, most of us are probably pretty pro-choice and pro-life. I mean, for the most part, we agree on so much more than we disagree on. And I do think it's kind of that 24-hour news cycle, which media outlet are you listening to that's become an echo chamber versus, getting outside of your own comfort zone and saying, okay, let me try to empathize and understand where this other person's coming from. And when I talk to people about my story, not my label, not my political affiliation, but my story, they say, oh my gosh, I totally get that because that's a human experience. So the more human experiences we can have and the less labeling others, I think the better we'll be off.
Download our monthly magazine for free on your mobile phone or tablet in the iTunes App Store or Google Play. Just search Her Magazine and sign up for our newsletter at hermag.co.